All right, good morning. So you've got your guitar just about ready to go. Um, Fretboard is in place. Bridge is now in place. You've leveled this. You've double checked your height at the bridge, and you're pretty sure that we can make a good go of this. Okay. Now a flamenco guitar, I'm going to leave this flat. I'm not going to put any relief on this bass side because I want a little bit of that rasp when the player plays. Um, the string action will be a little bit lower. There'll be a little bit of smack against the frets here, and a little bit easier playing. Now that comes at a loss because you're not going to be able to make that really pristine sound of a classical guitar. That's okay though, because you're still going to have a beautiful Spanish guitar sound. All right. Like I said, I've got everything here in place. Fretboard is leveled. I've double checked the action height down here, and I did that. I took my long straight edge and I double checked to make sure that once I put my spacers in to accommodate for the string height above the frets, that I'm going to be in the right place down here. Now after I get the frets on and I get everything set up, if I find there's an issue down here, I can still adjust. I've got plenty of adjustment room to do that. Double check that I've made the fret slots deep enough to accommodate my fret wire, and I've got about 4 feet of fret wire here, which is about what you need to do a guitar. And I've got some tools here on the bench. I've got a triangle file. I've got some nippers. I've got a flat file, small hammer, although if you've got a dead blow hammer, that's probably a better deal. And I've got a little bit of glue. And so what I'm going to do here is in each fret slot, I want to give a little bit of relief on both sides. And so I'm going to take my triangle file and in the fret, and I don't know if you can really see this. Let me move the camera up, zoom it in. Okay, so here, this is the first fret. Right in that fret, I'm just going to take a little relief. This helps the fret sit a little bit lower in the slot. It ensures that it's going to sit at the correct height. And that the fret ting will go all the way in. It also makes it easier later if you have to remove the fret for any reason. You hopefully won't have it tear out as much of the fretboard. Your repair person will thank you. Careful as you get a cup here over the body of the guitar. As you can tell, this doesn't take very much. It's just a little. Alright. Where did my brush go? Okay. Zoom back out a little bit. Now, in order to save ourselves here, I'm going to tape off the fretboard so that I don't mar it. Well, I say that. I don't want to have to clean it up that much with glue residue. We'll just wipe it off. We'll be okay. We'll just wipe it off. Alright, so what I do is about 5 frets at a time. Take my fret wire, lay it across. I want to make sure that there's a little bit of overhang on both sides. It doesn't have to be drastic, but you want to have enough there in case there's an issue later. Fret nippers, and just nip it. Okay, I haven't actually stuck it in the slot yet. I'm just getting it really close. If your fretboard has a radius, you want to make sure you have radiused your frets wire as well to closely resemble the radius of your fretboard. My fretboard is flat, so my frets are flat. Alright, there's our start. And you can see that there's a little bit of overhang on each side, and there's a reason for that. I want a little bit there so that I can make sure that when I have go back and do my setup and I've filed all my frets, that I have enough to go all the way to the edge of the fretboard. Alright, so there's my frets. I'm going to make sure I keep them in order. I'm going to set them on the side for a moment because I don't want them bouncing around here in a second. But like I said, they need to be in order. Okay, and I did 5 frets, so I'm going to take my glue. I'm going to very carefully run glue into each fret slot. Why do I do that? Because I don't want this fret to bounce back on me. Take your trusty glue applicator and applicate. I'm going to get some paper towels here so that I have something to wipe off with. Okay. I'm going to very carefully, one by one, set my fret in the slot where it needs to be. Give it some gentle taps. And make sure that it fully seats. Just do this very lightly. You'll notice that below my neck I have some wood blocks there. Just keeping my neck in place. This is why I left all that extra down there, so that I have a flat spot to do this on. Now, those frets are in. Remember, they have sharp edges on each side, so don't go about scraping your hand against it. Put a little water on this towel. I'm just going to wipe off that excess glue so I don't have to worry about it later. There you go. That's how you do it. Now, as you get farther into the sound hole area, you'll want to have something to hold inside the guitar. If you have a piece of metal, that works pretty good. I just have a little block of wood, but like I said, I do about 5 frets at a time to finish. So if you'll also notice my 19th fret, and I don't know if I can get this real well, but my 19th fret does not go all the way across, so I've got to cut smaller pieces and inlay each one of those separate. So just, FYI. But I'm going to go ahead and finish up a few of these extra frets, and then I will come back and finish up this area on camera. Alright, so like I said, I'd come back when I got to these last few. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut off. I've got a long piece here, and then for these little ones I've got a little shorter piece that I'll use that I've cut off the other one. So like I said, we're just getting the pieces cut just so, just slightly longer than our fret slot. And that's so that you have enough room on each end to be doing your fretting process. It allows you a margin of error, which is good. We're being conservative with it. We're only leaving like 1.5 millimeters, 2 millimeters on each side. You don't want a whole lot because you're going to have to remove that later, but you want enough so that when you go to putting the fret in there, you don't end up short on one side. Because that's bad too. Alright, so I've got one good long piece and a shorter piece. So I've got these two real short sections that I want for my last fret here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this short piece to do that. Pop it and double check. And that should work. It's still a little long, so I'm going to take a little off the edge of that one. In reality, that first one's probably a little long too, but let me double check. Okay, have those ready. Glue's ready. Water's ready. Very carefully. Add some glue. Okay. Here's our start. A piece of wood, set it on the inside, and it will make a little more noise than normal, so also have to hit it just a slightly harder in order to get them to seat, because you don't have the same amount of ballast on the other end. You know, you're not resting it up against the bench, you're resting it up against this piece of wood on your fingers. With me here, it's kind of hard to see, huh? Let's do this. You can see better. Don't let them roll. Make sure you're getting them right in the fret slot. Okay, last two. Really, you could have the last one here, but I'm going to do two. I really like to press these in if I can, but I'm going to have to seat them just right. And occasionally, we'll lose it into the internal of the guitar and have to get it out. So there you go. Try not to do that. I really wish that would go in where it's supposed to go. There we go. Alright, and that last one right there is really going to be kind of decorative, because there's probably no chance that he's ever going to play that note, but it is there. Alright. Okay, so all of the frets are in. I have a little bit of glue I need to wipe off with some water. And then the next step.